Life is a journey full of unexpected turns, a road of lessons where everyone learns. Some will stay and some will go, but God will reveal what you need to know. The people you trust, the ones you keep near, may not always be as they appear. Their smiles may shine, their words may heal, yet deep inside their hearts conceal. At your best, they'll clap and cheer. At your worst, they disappear. When you rise, they call you a star. When you fall, they watch from afar. You'll share your dreams, your deepest fears. They'll nod along, pretending to hear. But when the storm comes, fierce and wild, you'll stand alone like a lost child. And that's when God will open your eyes to the truth behind the sweetest lies. He'll peel away the masks they wear and show you who was never there. The ones who claimed they'd never leave are the first to make you grieve. The ones who said they'd hold your hand are now nowhere, like grains of sand. It will hurt, it will sting, like the cut of a shattered wing. You'll cry, you'll break, you'll bend, wondering why it had to end. But listen, dear heart, don't despair. This is God's way to make you aware. He removes the false to make space for the true, for souls that cherish and uplift you. So let them go, release the pain, don't chase shadows in the rain. What's meant for you will always stay, what's fake will surely fade away. Stand tall, walk ahead, and wipe your tears, for God has been watching all these years. He knows who's real, He knows who's not, He will guide you to your destined spot. So when you lose those you once adored, know that something greater is in store. God will show you, just wait and see, how fake they were and who you're meant to be. Keep the faith, hold on tight, the darkest hour leads to light. Trust His plan, embrace His grace. He will bring the right souls to your space. And when you look back at all you've survived, you'll see how God kept your soul revived. You'll smile, knowing you've grown so strong, because He removed what didn't belong. There was a time you trusted them all, believed their words, answered their call. You stood with them through thick and thin, yet they betrayed you from within. They cheered for you when life was bright, but left when darkness stole your light. You thought they cared, you thought they stayed, but soon their loyalty began to fade. Their kindness came with hidden schemes, their love was only in your dreams. They smiled at you but spoke behind, a truth too cruel, too unkind. You gave them time, you gave your heart, but they were tearing you apart. God watched it all, He knew the game, and soon He'd call them out by name. One by one, their masks would slip. Their true intentions start to drip. Their words once sweet would turn to lies, their real faces in clear skies. At first you'd wonder, was it me? Did I fail them? Could they not see? But God would whisper calm and true, you were real, they failed you. The love they claimed was never pure, their presence never felt secure. God knew the pain they put you through, and in His time He'd show it too. He took them out, He shut the door, to bring you peace forevermore. You'd cry and ask, but why, my Lord? Yet later you'd see the grand reward, because after loss comes something great, a healing hand, a destined fate. God clears the path and sets you free to walk toward what's meant to be. You don't need those who used your name, who stood with you for wealth or fame. Their time is up, their story's done. Your real journey has just begun. New hands will lift, new hearts will stay, the ones sent truly on your way. They won't pretend, they won't deceive, they'll love, they'll cherish, they won't leave. So thank the loss, embrace the pain. With every storm there comes no rain, but rather growth, a brand new start, with stronger faith, a lighter heart. Look back and smile at all you learned, the bridges crossed, the pages turned. You've seen the fake, you've known their kind, now let them go, free your mind. For God has seen what you could not, and saved you from the battles fought. He let them go, removed the weight, to bring you love, not lies and hate. One day you'll laugh standing tall, realizing they meant nothing at all. God let you see, and now you know who was real and who must go. So walk ahead, embrace your fate, for truth and love are never late. And when the right ones find your way, you'll thank your Lord for that dark day. They walked beside you, hand in hand, made you feel they'd always stand. But when the tides began to change, they left you lost, they left you strange. You trusted them with all your heart, never thought they'd play a part. But life reveals what words disguise, and soon you'll see through all the lies. God watched you love with soul so pure, watched you give and still endure. He saw the way they spoke so sweet, yet planned your downfall in deceit. You thought they'd never let you go, yet they disappeared like melting snow. You called their names, but none replied. The ones you loved had simply lied. Your pain was deep, your heart was sore, as you knocked on their closed door. You wondered why they changed so fast, why friendships built were not meant to last. But trust in him, he clears the way. He'll show you truth in his own way. The ones who left were not for you. They never loved, they never knew. One day, you'll wake and understand why he removed their grasping hand. You'll see the signs you missed before, the silent whispers, the hidden score. They were there for gain, not love. Their hearts were empty, not from above. They only stayed when skies were blue, but left when storms came crashing through. And when you break but choose to rise, you'll thank your Lord for making you wise, for taking those who meant you harm and shielding you from their false charm. He made them leave, he made it clear, they were never truly near. They spoke with love, but hearts were cold, their loyalty was bought and sold. One day, they'll watch you rise so high and wonder how, they'll wonder why. But you'll just smile, look back and say, God removed the fake that stood in my way. Because those who truly love will stay, through every night, through every day. They won't betray, they won't pretend, they'll walk with you until the end. So let them go, release the pain, for sunshine always follows rain. You lost the fake, but won the real, a life of love, a heart that heals. And when you look up, strong and free, you'll know God's plan was meant to be. He let you see, he let them go, to bring you light, to help you grow. They stood beside you when life was bright, spoke words of love in morning light. But as the darkness filled the skies, you saw the truth behind their lies. They smiled wide, they spoke so kind, yet their hearts were far behind. Their promises strong, their words so sweet, but their love was never complete. You held their hands, you called them friend, thinking they'd stand until the end. But when your tears began to fall, they walked away, ignored your call. You gave them time, you gave them trust, yet all they wanted was selfish lust. They took your kindness, drained your soul, and left you broken, far from whole. You sat in silence, hurt and lost, wondering why love had such a cost. But God was watching, he always knew, and soon his truth would shine on you. One by one their masks would break, their love exposed as pure heartache. Their hands that once reached out so tight would vanish quickly out of sight. And when you stood alone and weak, with trembling hands and voice so meek, God whispered softly in your ear, "My child, the truth is finally clear." These people never cared for you, they only stayed for what you'd do. But now you see, now you know, that love should never hurt you so. So let them go, don't beg, don't cry, their chapter's done, don't ask why. They played their part, they had their turn, now let them fade, just watch and learn. Because the real ones will never leave, they won't deceive, they won't deceive. They'll stand beside you in the storm, their love will always keep you warm. And one day soon you'll smile and see how God removed what wasn't meant to be. He let them go, he cleared your space to fill your life with love and grace. So thank the pain, embrace the test, God's plan is always for the best. One day you'll rise, your heart will say, Thank you, Lord, for showing me the way. They walked beside you, hand in hand, made you believe they'd always stand. Their words were sweet, their smiles bright. They made your world feel full of light. But light can fade, and so it did, revealing all the truths they hid. The ones you loved, the ones you knew, were never really there for you. They cheered your wins, they praised your name, but deep inside they played a game. They took your kindness, took your grace, yet never meant to keep their place. And when your world came crashing down, when you were lost and no one around, you turned to them, you called for aid, but not a single one had stayed. The doors were shut, the rooms were bare, the voices gone, no one to care. You sat in silence, torn and weak, as bitter truths began to speak. God had watched, he always knew, and now he showed the lies to you. Not to break you, not to harm, but to protect you from their charm. He pulled them back, he cleared your way, removed the ones who couldn't stay. Not all who stand beside your side are truly there with love and pride. Some come for gain, for selfish needs. Some plant doubt like hidden seeds. Some wear masks and play the part, yet never hold a loving heart. So when they leave, don't hold on tight. Let them go, step into light, for what is false will always fade, and what is real was never made. You trusted them, you gave your heart, believed they'd never fall apart. You laughed with them, you shed your tears, you held them close through all your years. They called you family, they called you friend, promised to stay until the end. But words are empty when hearts aren't true, and soon the cracks began to show through. At first the change was small, unseen, a moment missed, a space between. They smiled, but something felt so cold, like stories left too long untold. Then came the silence, the distant stare, the times you called but they weren't there, the way they turned when you were weak, when all you needed was to speak. You wondered why, you questioned all. Did you change? Did you let them fall? But no, my dear, the truth is plain. They never planned to share your pain. God saw it first. He knew the game, knew their love was just a name. He let them stay so you could learn, then took them out before you'd burn. At first it hurt, the loss was deep. You lay awake, you couldn't sleep. But as the days turned into years, you found the strength beyond the tears. You saw the signs, the truth so clear, that they were never meant to be near. They stood beside you when times were good, but ran away when they understood. That love is more than words alone. It's sacrifice, the seeds we've sown. It's being there through highs and lows, not disappearing when the cold wind blows. So now you stand, your heart reborn, no longer lost, no longer torn. For what they took, God will replace with better souls, with love and grace. You lost the fake, but gained what's real, a life of love, a heart that heals. And one day soon you'll smile and say, God knew best, he led the way. So let them go, don't beg, don't cry, their chapter's done, don't ask why. They played their part, they had their turn, now let them fade, just watch and learn. For God will bring the ones who stay, the ones who love in every way. Not just in joy, not just in gain, but even through the deepest pain. So trust his plan, embrace the change. Not all were meant to walk your range. Some were lessons, some were tests, but in the end, God gives you the best. They came with promises, with words so bright, made you believe they'd stand and fight. Through every storm, through every tide, but when you needed them, they ran to hide. You called their name, but they weren't there. You reached for hands that touched just air. The ones you trusted, the ones so near, had vanished when you needed care. You sat in silence, broke in pain, wondering if love was all in vain. But God had watched, he always knew, and now he showed the lies to you. The words they spoke, the smiles they gave, were nothing but a fleeting wave. They stood beside you for their gain and left you drowning in the rain. But God removes what isn't true to bring the ones meant just for you. He'll let you cry, he'll let you break, but only so your soul can wake. The friends you lost, the love that failed, the times when life felt cold and pale were only signs, a path so clear to lead you where you're meant to steer. Not all who walk with you will stay, some are meant to fade away. Not all who smile are pure inside, some only come along for the ride, so let them go, release the past. God took them out to make love last. Not love that fades, not love untrue, but love that's real, that's meant for you. One day, you'll stand with hearts so strong, knowing they were never meant to belong. And when they watch you rise so tall, they'll wish they never left at all. For what they lost was something rare, a soul that loved, a heart that cared. But you won't look back, you won't regret, for God replaced what made you fret. So walk ahead, embrace your fate, for truth and love are never late. And when the right ones take your hand, you'll thank your Lord, you'll understand. They held your hand, they spoke so sweet, their love felt strong, their words complete. You never questioned, never knew, that behind their smiles they were untrue. They stood beside you in the light, but disappeared into the night. You shared your dreams, your fears, your pain, but they just played a selfish game. Their kindness came with hidden cost, and when you needed them, they lost. You searched for them in darkest days, but they had left in quiet ways. You wondered why, you felt the ache. How could their love have been so fake? But God had watched, He saw it all, and He would never let you fall. He let them stay so you could learn, then took them out before you'd burn. He cleared your path, He shut the door, so better souls could love you more. At first, the loss felt cold and deep. It made you break, it made you weep. But one day soon, you'd understand why He removed their grasping hand. Not all who come are meant to stay. Some are lessons in disguise each day. They teach you strength, they show you pain, and then they vanish like the rain.